Hello, friends. My name's Abby Clark of The Morning Set and Influenced, and you're tuned to KUVO. Excited to welcome Wes Watkins back to KUVO and back in our performance studios. The Wes Watkins Ensemble will grace our ears today. Take it away.
This just might be written long before our time. We just didn't listen. Now we're sitting proud but strongly, stronger than we were before, but afraid to carry on. I'm glad to have a roof and more, but we're singing sadder song. Oh, we're singing sadder song. This is life-ish. Oh, I guess that this is life, kids. Maybe I'm afraid to fail, but I'm not afraid to fall. And maybe I don't wanna win, I don't wanna play at all. Doesn't mean that I don't want it, and I'll always have to grind. I know I might be young, yeah, but I'm tired all the time. I'm so tired all the time. So let me whine, child, and pour me one more glass of wine, child. Give me a little of that Midwest. Maybe I'm afraid to fail, hey, but I'm not afraid to fall. And maybe I don't wanna win, I don't wanna play at all. Does that mean that I don't want it and I'll always have to grind? Look, I know I might be young, yeah, but I'm tired. So let me wine, child, and pour me one more glass of wine, child. Wait for the snow to come, things will get brighter, hun. Wait for the setting sun, wait for the rolling thunder. Just keep it steady now, on you I'm betting now. Stay off the levee now, on you I'm betting now. Go on. When the storm clouds roll in, listen to the thunder, you yet to begin. The meaning's been lost upon you, but the wind keeps blowing on. Listen to her song. One, two, three. When the night is holding you down, you can't escape the pressure, can't swim so you'll drown in waters inside your brain. You can't outthink your feelings, so accept the pain. Accept the pain. Ooh, 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 ooh. 'Cause life without struggle leaves a canvas that's plain. Feels like you got no one to defend. Don't give up on the conflict, just accept and ascend. When the price leaves nothing but disdain, or just leave the expectations and accept the pain. Accept the pain. Accept the pain. 'Cause life without struggle leaves a canvas that's plain. Listen to the thunder, you yet to begin. The meaning's been lost upon you, but the wind keeps blowing on. Listen to another day where I get to breathe. Another day where I take it easy. Another chance to see what I mean. I'm wondering if please you could see me. Essence overflowing, do you need me to slow down what's been growing out in the garden city? The shame, but they'll never grow again if we can end this game. Let my time wait for rain to wash away the wilting leaves and lingering pain. Now. Another hand that I wait to hold, another face that I wait to scold me, another drink so I could be bold. I'm breaking off the bib, won't you? Mold me. Clay inside your hands, please won't you hold me? Said the millionth grain of sand, only in a sea of boundless tears. Giving the grave, oh, giving all it seems we fear. Way the water, warm and clear, and maybe with time the drifting boulders disappear. Wish I had a show. People asking when's the next, I tell them I don't know. Maybe it's a time to start seeking other things, pulling on some strings, you know what I mean. Back when I worked late night at that cafe, work out night and play trumpet all day, bell bottom pants, black shoes, black beret. Some people telling me I'm from a place far away now.
Back when I played for tips on the street, an old lady said big socks, big feet.
I never understood young and dumb and fresh meat,
But at least I got a roof,
a warm bed
and some sleep now.
Back before when I lived in a kitchen.
Back when I always knew that something else was missing.
Well, now that I say it now, it ain't so bad. At least I got my girl and my horn and my dad. Another person looking for me. Another person asking for money. Another person trying to get free. Another person trying to get out. Don't know where we're going, but we'll scout out now. Some bee keeping me going. Only the caller knows where they've been. And he isn't scared about the mud that they've run in. He says, take your time, child. There's no race. You got the time to find the comfort in your faith. Looking for a fight, you got one barking up the wrong tree. You sure you looking for me? You treat me like a disease.
A bad greasy yo jeans.
A bad black or wet cheese, a sad shot at a dream. And the results didn't please you. Now, please, honey, I'm not trying to leave you.
I'm sorry that my apathy has left you feeling beat.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I never took the proper time to keep you.
I know I'm kinda blunt,
But I'm never being mean. Now,
sing. Cigarettes ain't good for you, but what a snack bag. Food is scarce, money it ain't coming back, Jack.
shake your shack. Sebby Levy got my peanuts back. I ain't whack, but I take it where I get it at. To the pat, I'll catch you up on chitter chat. Look at that little Wes, he got his magic bugle back. He bit the man on the doorstep with the wiggle, whatever. I got a bad more breath for them.
Hello, everybody. I don't know which camera. There's a lot of cameras in here. Hi, YouTube. I'm Wes. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks, KUVO, for having us. This is an honor. I haven't been here since I was a teenager playing a show, so it's kind of a cool rite of passage. I feel like I've gotten older. What? Real quick, the band. You heard solos from that round. You heard solos from Eman Alexander. Make sure you see him Wednesday nights at the Metal Art, right? You heard solos from Kramer Kelling on bass guitar right here. Make sure you see him Thursdays at Gerard's. And we'll get to the other cats. They're the homies, you know. Okay, a while back I started working on a cartoon. Maybe one day I'll finish it along with the Christmas album and everything else I've been doing with my life and not releasing for the past forever. Oh, that last song is from a record that we just dropped, so check the record. It's called Wes Watkins. It's 45. Buy it online, please.
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter. So I'm forced to be an optimist. I'm forced to believe that we can survive whatever we must survive. But
For a ship or a sail made of cotton, for a chain on brown skin body, to a land unknown,
It belongs to me.
it's real life stories of history. For a milk crate, ma'am, here's a penny. For a haircut, sir,
Have a dime.
you there, back to work.
Build my house till my field.
Real life stories of history. Cause we built you this for free.
the question you gotta ask yourself, the white population of this country's gotta ask itself.
Take a walk, my friends, block the streets off. Shut them down until
They can hear.
I get the same 40 acres never came. Think about what your kids will believe. Look, that we built you your shit for free. It's real life stories and history. Keep going.
The question you gotta ask yourself, the white population of this country's gotta ask itself. North and South, because it's one country, and for a Negro, there is no difference in North and South. The Negro in this country, the future of the Negro in this country is precisely as bright or as dark as the future of the country. It is entirely up to the American people and our representatives. It is entirely up to the American people whether or not they're going to face and deal with and embrace this stranger whom they've allowed so long. What white people have to do is try to find out in their own hearts why it was necessary to have a nigger in the first place. Because I'm not a nigger, I'm a man. But if you think I'm a nigger, it means you need it. The question you gotta ask yourself, the white population of this country's gotta ask itself, if I'm not the nigger here, and you invented him, you the white people invented him, then you gotta find out why.
real life stories of history. Yes, we built you this shit for free. Then we screamed and we bled until you pretend you were listening to me. 1, 2, 3. I got a message from a friend. It said, why waste more of your time? Your only worth to them is, hey boy, these shoes down shine. Please listen, I only live because of kindness, not just yours, but theirs and mine. While it's not cheap or change, I guess I take the time. Above, below, am I? But heads they see. 7-Eleven wanna leave. 'Cause they aren't fans of darker sheets. They say, look,
Unless you build our shit for free.
whoa, now, fast forward, Parks or John Ali. Tell me, why is this conspiracy? Whoa, the villains got away scot-free, they say.
Our footmen rot in jail for these.
I'm moving backwards, looking forward, trying every day to change. A world I lived in while I'll never feeling safe. I know you worked hard, know you earned it, what we've always been told. Almost I got it and still ain't have it. Oh, above, below, am I? But heads they see. 7-Eleven wanna leave. 'Cause they aren't fans of darker sheets. They say our footmen rot in jail for me. Or John Ali, tell me why is this conspiracy? Oh, the villains got away scot-free. They say our footmen rot in jail for me. It's real life stories of history. Yes, we build you this shit for free. Because of cotton, you like flowers. Look. Then we scream and we bled. 1, 2, 3. Until I realized a while back, people don't necessarily like it when I say it so much, so I figured, let's have characters from the past say it. You'll listen to them, and so here's Malcolm X. He says,
Dealing with the condition itself is not enough, and it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate. We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. You should ask yourself who taught you to hate. And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people up. He shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
And you'd pretend you were listening to me. My voice got caught. I wasn't crying. It really did get caught. I do cry sometimes. You know, live things are, it's always a little odd. You guys wouldn't know this, but there's nobody in this room. And so I don't know what to say, really. Usually I feed off the crowd, but alas. Anyway, here's a sad song for you.
It seems to me that it's a reflection, direct reflection, of the effort made by the white America to keep away, to not be threatened by black people. In some way, the American vision of the world is all wrapped up with their vision of black men, just has to do with their vision of themselves.
A dark night with the stars up above it, no cloud, but a song in his head. To light, there's a car up above. Who's there? Fire's bright. You've been charged with crimes to the kin. Fire's bright. Bastardizing nature's a sin. Fire's bright. Black outside and blacker within. Fire's bright. Ready, boy, atone for your fire's bright. As she sits lost in thought, sweat droplet. Try and remember what he taught you. Don't cry. Don't let him see you bad at night, 'cause it's your life. Tear it down. It's all gonna fall anyway. See what happens. See what happens when you tear our lives away. Burn it down. I don't care what pastor could say, 'cause I can't breathe. The broken glass sparkles, snow flurries in summer. I might know a mason if you could find a potter. I wanna watch the flames turn asphalt into butter. I used to be on the other side, but they're killing all our brothers. Big Young, it's her first day of school. Her mama's proud as he ties up her new shoes. She's a big girl, walks to the bus all by herself, stops at a favorite tree, but then a scream and cry for help, 'cause in her favorite tree swings a brown body, and then somebody else says, well, don't you scream or else. But then a daddy shows up, and then a brother shows up, but then the cops show up. The broken glass sparkles, snow flurries in summer. I might know a mason if you
you could find a potter. I wanna watch the flames turn asphalt into butter. I used to be on the other side. 1, 2, 3.
In a way, black men were very useful to the American because in a country so absolutely undefined, so amorphous, where there were no limits, no height really, and no depth, there was one thing for which one could be certain. One knew where one was by knowing where the Negro was. You knew that you were not on the bottom because the Negro was there. You knew one knows what sin is in the same way. One knows what danger is the same way. Now this implies a vision of oneself, it seems to me, and a vision of the world which doesn't stop at the American borders. It is also the way America deals with the world. It must, cannot possibly avoid moving directly into the heart of the people who make up America. I mean that the problem will never be resolved until everybody in the country in some way, I know how impossible this sounds, however, this is what has to happen, is somehow able to do without this crutch.
That's called Masons. All right. People were like, man, Wes, heavy songs, a lot of depression and race and stuff. And I said, okay. I'll write about something people like birds. Birds. You like birds? You too? I like birds. So,
the air, it is fun up here. Not a care, the wind in my hair. So come join, I dare you in case you thought I'd share. I don't share mine. 1, 2. Well, I was born underground and now that's the way it goes. I don't need to fly, but boy, I tell you, I would love to coast to take a leap and glide there. See the sails above the boat, upon the currents ride. Push it. Tell me all let me just. Go on, man. Let's try this again, Chris. Well, I was born underground and now that's the way it goes. I don't need to fly, but boy, I tell ya, I would love to coast to take a leap and glide and see the sails from above the boat. Upon the currents ride, alas, alas, I've mostly known the boat. I've known the forest for the trees, the bugs beneath the leaves, the warmth within the breeze. Just tell me, oh, let me just coast the air. It is fun up here. Not a care, the wind in my hair. So come join, I dare you, in case you thought I don't, yeah, guys, it's mine.
Hey, let's give the drummer some. On the drums, Mr. Riley Williams. Hands up, arms crossed, eyes closed, I'm not looking your way. Am I speaking on police or just your day-to-day? My bottom lips gain weight from all the days I'm in. Now it's heavy with the time that I've watched in silence. Hey, ooh, empathy better to me, giving opportunity. Ooh, I could give you better from me to be the change you want to see. You want to see me. On the station, I received services I'd offer to my country and myself. I write for oceans, but I admit I'd run from destiny as my path was ever changing. I'd been avoiding all the wind. I closed my eyes to what I'm painting. Now I'm painting in the face of danger. Unknown haunts my dreams. I'm no stranger in this realm. Fabric rip at the seams and a beam from the void. A great love supreme and a scene from the past, though it seems like a dream. There's a boy with a drum. What a hint, scripts a mistress. She's intrigued by the man deep inside. No resistance as a distance as a king deified. He's a great king now, though he once was alive. What a shame that he's a...
Empathy seems better to me. Ooh, give an opportunity. Ooh, empathy seems better to me. Give an opportunity. Ooh, I could give you better from me. The change you want to see. You want to see. You want to see. You want to see.
I think we have one more. This is called A Mouse and a Moth. Hey, I'm going to start it myself, and then I'll count into the line. No trees? No, we're going to skip trees. Mouse. No trees. I know people like trees, and people don't like mice as much, but I like mice better than trees maybe sometimes. That's not true. It's not true. It's just about my thoughts. I much prefer trees.
Well, a kitchen in a dark house, a mouse and a moth, a meaning for a young boy who is sneaking out there, then a rustle, a claw. A mother who's warned your son not to sneak out at night. Ooh, nothing pleasant waiting for you out in the dark, out of sight. kitchen in a dark house. A mouse and a moth. A meaning for a young boy who's sneaking out. Then a rustle, a girl. Shame's the only thing I see in her eyes, so I sneak out the door and take a trip to the sky. Sometimes just giving it space could clear away the dirt you chose to rub on your face. A cumulus cower, a cleansing of your tower, a boost to remind you were left here to empower those lost in the lake, lacking skills of a strong swimmer. A lesson for the sinner. A lake is not a river. A lake will gently rock you till there's stillness in your heart. A river rocks your motive cause intention holds a part. And your part in the story is decided by your pen. And the story will continue until you decided it. Until you complete the tale. It's a legacy in literature, a great galleon tale in waves might in turbulence, but you choose if you'll fail. You choose if you'll win this time or lose and take the beating, being that you are the author who decides when you will see it. Dark out of sight. Oh, nothing blessed is waiting for you out there in the dark out of sight. Thanks, KUVO. Eman Alexander, Kramer, Kelling, Riley Williams, and Fab Folz on the saxophone. Sorry, I forgot to introduce you earlier, I think. I'm Wes Watkins. Until next time. Thank you, KUVO, for having us.
Wes Watkins wields his trumpet, piano keys, and pen much like an artist's brush, mixing genres like shades of paint. His music explores the realms of soul, funk, hip-hop, jazz, classical, and beyond to bring forth a style that is innovative and unique, fluid to match the message he is sharing. Wes Watkins is a well-known and loved artist here in Denver, dedicated to building community and fostering collaboration. During his career, he has shared the stage with Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, Leon Bridges, Jose Gonzalez, Diggable Planets, and many more. Wes Watkins, welcome to KUVO Studios. It's so great to have you back.
Hey, thanks for having me, Abby.
Oh man, what a beautiful performance with the ensemble.
Oh, thanks.
So I hear that normally it's a 13-piece, but it varies?
Yeah, so initially when I decided to start branding as Wes Watkins Ensemble, I want to brand as Wes Watkins Ensembles. So that's really the quintet, but the ensemble's usually 14,
Dang.
Yeah.
I know you're coming from The Other Black, which was a 30-piece ensemble that you led, and it paved the way for this Wes Watkins Ensembles, and that's the band that you brought today. I was doing some research, and Other Black made some waves. I saw you shared a marquee with Bad, Bad, Not Good, and you were on the Red Rock stage. What did this experience teach you, and how have you built upon it to fully realize the Wes Watkins Ensembles?
Well, that's a big question. So when I started The Other Black, I was playing in a lot of other groups, Air Dubai, I was playing Pedals of Spain still, and I quit everything to start my own ensemble. I think my music tends to be not as accessible maybe for non-music listeners, like avid music listeners. You know what I mean? It's kind of heady sometimes. I never thought about it, but so I quit everything to start that. And the Other Black was 27 people when I started it. When we finished, we were only actually 13. And in that process, you don't know what you're getting into. To lead a large ensemble, the first thing I found is that I don't have money, so that's difficult. I don't have money to buy a PA at the time, so like we were rehearsing, all of us, in a room in my garage by the end, with no PA. Nobody's on microphones, which was great because then you have to learn dynamics, which I think it's missing from music so much now.
Yes.
If you, instead of just like playing loud all the time or just playing loud and quiet, like to mean those really individual parts. I learned that with The Other Black real quick. I learned music is not just an art form, like a music thing. It's also really, really about relationships. And boy, howdy do I wish I would have learned it a little sooner. Those are still my people, but man, I'm sorry, everybody. I wasn't so good, But I was learning how to lead a large ensemble. It's hard, And then going, as I made all these songs, at a point, I'm over 2,000 original compositions now. So at a point, I was like, well, maybe you should try and like, you want this stuff to be like acoustic, you with the piano. You want this stuff to be like with the choir. So I started parceling things out, and that's really how I ended up at the Wes Watkins Ensemble, to have a core group that could do most of the things, and then some extraneous stuff,
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you say very fluid. Your music, if it calls for a 13-piece, you'll do it. If it's a jazz quartet or even an intimate solo performance that best tells the story, you welcome that change of writing style. You embrace this fluidity with your just-released Wes Watkins 45 with Unit E Records. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's something that, we collabed with KUVO for the limited edition gifts here, which was beautiful to share. And this has 2 songs on it. Another, which is a larger ensemble, and then Hey World is really a stripped-down solo piece. Can you bring us into what was going on in your head when you wrote these pieces?
Yes and no. I can for another. Another was really one of the pieces that came out right around like the beginning of COVID era, maybe right before COVID era. I had heard an idea when I started doing the residencies at Gerard's and eventually Meadowlark, which is now Off the Cuff. Eman's Off the Cuff, When I started doing those, the thing was somebody had told me, a good buddy had told me, "You're such a control freak on stage." To which I said, "You're right, but it's my band." But then I said, well, maybe I should learn how to be more fluid. So I started something where I would improvise everything. I'd write the song, and it's really like fly by the seat of your pants. I'm not giving chords. I don't necessarily even always know exactly what I'm playing. I have to look at it really hard. And so another was birthed out of that. One of those days we were playing, and maybe it was towards the end of COVID now that I think about it. But it really is like a retrospective to like kind of talk about all of these experiences I had from being a homeless kid to now, you know what I mean? Through the music industry and saying, like that line says, and it was the first line I actually wrote for the song. It says, another person looking for me, another person asking for money, another person trying to get free, another person trying to get out. And that is very much so, I feel like so much Denver music, often we hear all of those thoughts, So that was another. Hey World, I can't say exactly why, because I promised my friends I wouldn't, but a friend had an idea to modernize a musical and hit me up, and I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And I started with the worst song from the musical and wrote a new song for it, and Hey World was actually what I wrote. And that really just talks about how I find myself kind of let down sometimes with humanity. I'm like, people are out here complaining about, whatever, like $20 or, like whatever it is, all sorts of things, And meanwhile, like, you're walking down the street, or this is the best one. I hear all the time in Denver, it's so dirty, the homeless people are so dirty, which will never go over well with me because I used to be homeless. But meanwhile, I'm watching these same people walk by these people who have no food, no houses, no shelter, no nothing. Nobody will even talk to them. I know that experience. And it is the like ostracization from like human interaction that really like, that's what's going to mess with you. And so Hey World is really about that kind of experience. Like, yo, are you sleeping? Can't you see this is not, your life is not what it's like for me, you know? And I feel like at some point in our world, maybe we'll get to the place where we're all like in it to be in it for all of us, you know? That's Hey World.
Can you share a little bit more about your background?
Sure. Let me sip this
Yeah,
coffee.
please. Yeah.
I didn't spill.
I saw it.
Here is, you know, my dad was military. My parents are East Coasters. They moved here. I was born in Germany. And then I went to arts high school, Denver School of the Arts. And then, you know, via like lots of, you know, life happens. Not to go too much and out my parents' business too much, but my parents ended up getting divorced. And I ended up homeless during that time. And so then I was homeless for years, and all my friends went to, it was my senior year of high school. My friends all go to college for all a DSA, and they all go to college, and I'm just on the street. So I busked. I like to say I'd been playing trumpet for 7 years, and then I was homeless. And then I started playing trumpet because there was most people just ignore you when you're homeless. Play a loud instrument. People ignore you, walk right by. And so, but then with that, you know, you really sit with yourself. So I may not be the best technical player, but I think most people in Denver probably are like, can hear me playing and be like, that's Wes. But it's because I spent, you know, 2 years by myself just sitting, playing on the street. Friends get back, Nick got back, Pedals of Spain started. He gets me off the street, come live with me. And then, you know, all of a sudden I went from being in no bands and homeless on the street to being in like 6 bands. You know, Rowdy Shade House was actually the first one that really put me on. And then Pedals of Spain, Air Dubai, Bonnie and the Beard, iZcalli, Wheelchair Sports Camp, and the list goes on and on and on like that for so long until really The Other Black, when I quit most things. But I still play with iZcalli and Wheelchair sometimes, and I still Kayla. I'm singing with Kayla.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really from homelessness, and then I'm playing in a billion bands, and everybody knew me. I stopped. I started The Other Black, and then Nathaniel calls me, and then Denver started paying attention. And then I wasn't playing with Nathaniel anymore, and Denver stopped paying attention. But hopefully you guys are paying attention again now.
I think so. I was paying attention. I mean, I'm looking at what you draw inspiration from because your music is like almost theatrical in the way that it's laid out. It goes a lot of places. Your range is incredible.
Thanks.
And you really do speak a message. And I feel your influences like Sly and the Family Stone.
Love Sly.
Nina Simone, Sam Cooke, all these people that really spoke their truth and used their platform to tell the real stories. And I feel that with your music. You know, you're a writer as well. 2,000 songs. That's like a huge testament. Can you talk about real life stories of history or Masons, like what you're trying to use your platform to share?
Sure. That Sweet Talk, the album that all of those come off of, all of those were intended to be a cartoon.
Yeah.
George Floyd got assassinated. I know that's controversial. George Floyd is dead. So I'm out there. I didn't want to, you know, COVID is happening. You know, I didn't really want to go out and protest, even though I've been at a lot of those protests over the years. I really just wanted to like be at home. It was the first time I was sleeping. I was afraid. I found myself out there anyway because a friend went down. I wanted to make sure they were safe. And the progression that I saw very quickly within the first 24 hours I was at protest made me so sad. And I realized the biggest part was people are out here LARPing with cops. I don't want to see people like LARPing with cops. Like, that's not helping anything. And I said, man, we need like something that taught all of our American history. And Schoolhouse Rock taught me a lot about history, you know. And for the time, it actually was pretty progressive. Bob Dorough, you know, great jazz musician. I mean, I don't love all of his songs, but he was a great writer, and he wrote all that stuff for Schoolhouse Rock too, you know. And he, so much of it tests the waters without saying anything. And so I thought, what if we had a cartoon like that, but that was like unapologetically honest about American history, you know? So that's why, you know, for a shipper sail made of cotton, for a chain on brown skin bodies, to a land unknown, it belongs to me. Real life stories of history, you know? And so I started with, that was the first one, Real Life Stories of History. I think after that came I don't know. But they were all that first Sweet Talk album, which is on Bandcamp. That all of it was based off of what I witnessed and trying to teach new things. And I got way into research at the time, just constantly like trying to learn like who has said it better than I can say it. Because if I know my big sister, my favorite family member. I can't say favorite family member, it's family member, but you know, she's a writer, and she is so good about having a tact about her writing. You know, she can say something that, like I've been out with her and she'll like really be roasting people and they don't even know. She has a tact about her, you know? And yeah, that's what I wanted to do with those songs. And so I'm trying to get them done. I don't have an animator yet. So I've been looking, I also still 15, 16, 20 years later, am a broke musician. So like to pay an animator is difficult, but hopefully we can get a grant going and fund it. And we need it, you know? The songs are all written. There's probably 15 of them now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you've also given back to the community a lot yourself with residencies that bring in, you know, artists, helping them to shine and share their truth. You've been a staple in the Denver scene for a minute. Can you talk about these connections that you made and why it's important to have that kind of collaboration?
Well, there's a lyric in Real Life Story that says, and the second one says, I only live because of kindness, not just yours, but theirs. And mine, while it's not cheap, for change, I guess I'll take the time. And, you know, part of how I come up is going to Meadowlark when Mikey Smith first had started that Meadowlark thing. That's how I met Venus Cruz. That's how I met Gabe. That's how I met, and those cats really, they rep me, you know? And then as Denver progresses, we start to see some giant corporations kind of start to take over, even though they'd been here for forever. They really start to take over. And all of a sudden, venues say, you spend all your money, you go to school. I never went to school, but this is what they're saying to most people. You spend all your money, you go to school, you spend all this time, you write these songs, you buy the gear, you learn how to use the gear, you rehearse the band, you come to this show, and we're going to pay you $150 for your 14-person band. It seemed really important to me to try to combat that and to encourage venues that anywhere can be a venue. I know that I was homeless. I can go and I can busk on the street and all of a sudden becomes a venue. You add a few more members to the band, people and a crowd shows up and then they push you away. And so like, it is a thing where I just thought, make the residencies and try and make them in a way that like, there's a standard of art. I don't think everything is good. People call me grumpy uncle in town. I don't like what's happened with jam bands. I think there's only one difference between composition and improvisation. How many times did you play it? And I think to be able to compose is a skill, and I want to be way better at it. And to just sit and jam is doing a disservice to, it's fine sometimes, but to always do that and make that your career is doing a disservice to the listener. We have to assume listeners are smarter than that. And so make the nights, make the residencies. I never wanted to call them jam sessions because I didn't want them to be jam sessions. I wanted us to be doing original music. I wanted us to be repping local peoples, local compositions, modern compositions. And I wanted it to be in community places. So the first one, really, actually, I thought about it was years ago. Nick Hammerberg used to always start them. Or Nick J, he go by now. We did the Squire Lounge.
Oh, I've heard great things about that spot.
Yeah, I think it's gone now. I think it's like a taco place over by the Art Museum. And then Squire's there. It was not the Squire. It was, I can't remember what it's called. Fidel's Cantina is what it was called. We did Fidel's. Then all this stuff happened. Then he started the Squire, and he hit me up when he started the Squire. Then he started Goosetown. Around the time he started Goosetown, I had started playing a lot of pool. And so then I started Gerard's on Thursdays, and then I started the Ophelia's residency, or maybe Ophelia's was first, I don't remember. And then Meadowlark Wednesdays. And then I was doing a terrible job. I was depressed, a mentor had died. So then I said, well, if you're doing a terrible job and you made these for the community, there's only one option. You got to put your pride aside, and you got to give them away. So now on Thursdays, Kramer Kelling, that bass player, he runs the Thursday night at Gerard's. All Wednesdays, Manuel, that guitar player, he runs Wednesday nights. Off the Cuff has become just popping, you know? Yeah. And that really was made so that black people had a space in 5 Points, because I don't like what happened to 5 Points either, really, you know? I mean Renault. Wait, no, I mean Rhino. But if it's
Yeah.
River North, shouldn't it be Ridno? Shouldn't it?
Well, I appreciate your work in the community in that way, and I love your intentionality. I think it's important, and I'm just really appreciate being able to get to meet you and learn more about your music. I'm inspired by how you just it feels intentional. I know that you sit and compose it, but it almost just feels like it just flows out with the way that you'll go in certain directions and not hold back. And I really think that's beautiful.
Hey, thank you. We should make some music together, you know?
Oh, I love that. I want to hear about what you got coming up. I know that you are planning a U.S. tour, and I saw you have some dates here in Denver and maybe some music on the way.
Yeah, so I did a little run. I actually did a punk move. I was feeling like underappreciated in Denver, so I released the record in the Pacific Northwest and I never go to the Pacific Northwest. I always say if I move, I'm going east. I want more black people. Yeah. But I went to the Pacific Northwest and released it out there with some good friends. Carrie, who used to play in the other black drum player, Carrie. And so I released the record. Now we have our release coming up on December 6th, Ophelia's. Also, thank you, KUVO, because that record's really not possible without y'all. And I appreciate y'all so much. It's hard to make a record, and vinyl's expensive.
I was going to say vinyl, and a 45?
And this is my first physical representation of any of my music.
Oh, really?
Ever, yeah.
I love that you went big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my idea. It was Unity's idea, and thank them. Yeah, so December 6th is the release at Ophelia's. The other bands on that bill is Kayla Marque, Wheelchair Sports Camp, and Snubluck, the producer. And so that'll be good. Otherwise, yeah, working on trying to get some tour stuff going, but slow going and hard. But hit me up if people want to book me, you know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I really want to write and record more, and I think it's more about like, after COVID, I didn't want to come back to music the same way I'd been doing music. It's too easy to burn out, and all of us will burn out because we love music. And so I would much rather get across the ideas, I think, instead of just doing a high volume of gigs, and try and make some gigs that are like, the community stuff is one thing, but if I'm doing an ensemble gig, I really want it to be just the bee's knees, you know?
Oh, yeah. Especially having so many people involved. Thank you again for bringing your ensemble here to play some of your original music at KUVO. I'm very excited to see what you have next. Thanks. And hope to catch you out live music soon. Thank you, Wes.
Hey, thank you, Abby.